In this video, we're going to learn how to respond to events using jQuery. Okay, we're using the same source code as in the previous file. We just got rid of the script content for now. So to start, we want to write some code so that we are able to click on the on any paragraph, okay, and change the color of all paragraphs. Okay, so first of all, we're going to use our load function, and then inside the function we'll write our jQuery code. So we need to access all the paragraphs. So the syntax is dollar followed by the selector. In our case, it's p, and the event is click. Okay, so in jQuery it's a little bit different. So in JavaScript we know that we used to use the onClick event, and in jQuery it's going to be click. Okay, and then following that we need to set a function. Okay, and now we're gonna write the action. So first of all, we need to access the elements that we want to change, which is all the paragraphs. Okay, so we need the selector p, and we're going to use the CSS method to set the background color to a specific value. So the property we're looking at is background color, and let's set that to a certain color. Let's go for that color, for example, or this one. Okay. Now if we click on any paragraph, we can see that's all paragraphs, they turn pink. Okay, all right, so that's one example. So again, so we selected the elements we wanted. So we're looking here at paragraphs, and the event is click, and then following the click we need to put the whole code of the function that we are setting here between parentheses, and then we just setting the function. It doesn't have any parameters, and all the code goes between curly brackets, and we're accessing the paragraphs, okay, using the selector, and then we're using the CSS method to change the background color. Okay, so we can go for another example. So let's say that rather than changing the background color of all paragraphs, we only want to change the color of the paragraph that we clicked. Okay, so if we comment that piece of code and just copy that, okay, just copy it here, and now, so rather than selecting all the paragraphs and changing their background color, there is a simpler way. We're gonna select the elements that we clicked, and for that we're gonna use the keyword this. So what do we mean by that? So this means that we are selecting all the paragraphs, and we are saying here in the event of clicking, get this. Okay, so this refers to whatever elements we are clicking. So the elements that we click is gonna see their CSS changed, their background color is gonna be changed. Okay, so that's what we mean by this. So let's try it and see what happens. So if we click on a paragraph, okay, only the paragraph changes, only the paragraph changes. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, so now let's try something else. Let's comment this and go for another example. Okay, now we want to be able to hover on any paragraph and have that paragraph changing their background color. Okay, so you're going to select all paragraphs, okay, using the P selector, and then the event this time is going to be mouse over. Okay, and okay, we're going to set a function between the parentheses. Okay, and the function is going to be set like this, so no parameters, so empty parentheses, and then open curly brackets and close curly brackets. All right, so we want to select this. Okay, so we're selecting the paragraph that we hover on, and we want to change the CSS property, which is the background color, and we want to set that to okay, let's go for that color as well. Okay, so let's see what's happened. So now if we hover on any paragraph, we can see there. Let's hover on this one, you see. Let's hover on that one, that one, that one. Okay, so it is working. Now we want to add something else. We want to add another event when the mouse leaves the paragraph. What happens? So rather than mouse over, we're going to have mouse out. Okay, and we want the background color, okay, to return to its original state, which is empty. There's a mistake here. So mouse out. That's how we need to spell it. Okay. So now let's see. When we have the mouse on the paragraph, we can see that the color is pink. When we leave, you know, it returns to its original state. All right. Perfect. Okay, now let's move to form fields. Okay, let's have a look at this input. We want to change the background color property of the inputs when it has focus. Okay. All right. So we need to select all the inputs of the web page. Okay, and the event is focus. All right, and we are setting a function that will change the background color of this. Okay, because our, you know, the elements that we are changing is exactly the same elements that we are selecting there. So this CSS, and then we're changing the background color to something. Okay, let's just copy paste and let's change the background color to something like this. Okay, so let's try it and see. When we focus, we can see that the background color becomes blue. Okay, so let's set it to something different. Let's go for yellow, some dark yellow, or light yellow, and that's better. Okay, so now we want to do something different when the element doesn't have focus anymore. Okay, so the event this time is going to be blur rather than focus. All right, and let's set the background color this time to yellow. So we're just going to go 6 Fs. So now we've got focus, and we leave, it goes back. All right. All right, so now we want to change the CSS of the input when we are typing. So we're going to need another event here. So it's something that we call key up. So when we click on a button on the keyboard, okay, and we just leave the button, that's a key up. All right. So this event, we can set an action to respond to this event. So rather than blur, we're going to have key up. Okay, and we want, for example, the background color to turn for example, blue, something. Okay, let's try. So let's refresh. So now on focus, we can see the yellow color. Okay, if we leave, it turns white, and if we write something, it becomes blue. Okay, if we leave, it becomes white. Okay, one final change we want is when we click on the submit button, we'd like the value to be reset to nothing. Okay, so you want any value that we input there to disappear. Okay, to be reset to an empty string. So what we need to do is to, okay, let's copy paste the same code previously, and now we are accessing the button of ID submit. Okay, it's got ID submit, and the event is click. Okay, and the function is gonna change properties of the elements of ID inputs. All right, so that needs to be a string. All right, and we are basically setting the background color to white, and also we are changing the value of the input. So again, we need to access the inputs, and so ID inputs, and we are changing the value. So the function this time is going to be val, all right, and we are setting the value to the parameter that we are going to use in the method parameter. So it's going to be an empty string. All right, so let's try it now and see what happens. So now we've got focus, we write, and then we click on submit, and we can see that the value is reset to an empty string, and also the color, the background color, is reset to a white color. All right, so that's how the syntax of events and responding to events work. In the next video, we'll learn how to change HTML content and attributes.